this is the size of a Mac Mini SSD. And this is the size of a hard disk drive. Just look at that size difference right there. I mean, this is so much thinner, this is so much bigger. But anyways, what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be installing macOS Golden Gate on a hard disk drive on Apple Silicon. What could possibly go wrong here? Alright, so let's just go ahead and get our macOS installer out. And it looks like our installation was successful. And I'm going to be doing the stuff required in order for our hard disk drive to be used on our MacBook. Alright, so it says the disk that we are attached was not readable by this computer. This is because our hard drive is currently formatted in APFS. We're just going to click ignore and open up disk utility. And here it is right here, J Micron Tech Media. I don't know why it's 1.07 terabytes, but I guess it is what it is. What we're going to do is we're going to be erasing, and we're going to call this Top Secret HDD. Yeah, very good name right here. Now let's click on erase right here. And no, I do not want it to be macOS Extended Journaled. We got to fix that in a bit. Is it possible to cancel out of this? No, looks like we gotta wait a bit. Alright, oh wait, it is APFS, huh? Are we 100% sure? Let's just show all devices real quick. And it looks like it is APFS, so I don't know why it said macOS Extended Journaled. I'm just gonna blame macOS Tahoe on that. I'm gonna be honest, macOS Tahoe has been really buggy. But now, let's go ahead and install macOS Golden Gate. What does the icon look like? Oh my gosh, Tahoe. Can't wait to get Golden Gate on this. Alright, but here's our installer icon. It's just the Tahoe installer icon for now. Hopefully this will change in a bit, but now let's go ahead and click continue. Agree. And we're going to show all disks, and there it is right here. Top Secret HDD. Now we're going to continue. Let's just set me as the owner. And go ahead and continue. It's a MacBook, Apple Silicon. It should be able to last a long time. Now let's just enter my password. And there it is right there. Now we're installing macOS Tahoe on our top secret hard drive. How slow can it possibly be? Well, I will say this as somebody who knows about the APFS file system, which is, I think, required to run in order to run macOS. APFS is just Apple's version of NTFS basically, and APFS is heavily optimized to be run on solid state drives right here. So this is an SSD. You can see just how tiny it is. In fact, this entire thing is not the SSD. This is the SSD itself. In fact, this is just a Mac Mini NAND chip. So this is really just the NAND, and Apple Silicon is the stuff that handles the hard drive. Meanwhile, I'm not going to touch the hard drive because it's a hard drive. Meanwhile, everything that Apple Silicon has needs to also be inside of this hard drive right here. So everything is just super big inside of here. So because Apple Silicon has all the controllers, it's really just the NAND chip that is external here. So this is just the storage basically, and the entire controller is inside of Apple Silicon itself. It's still considered an SSD because this is just handling the read and write speeds. So right here I have a 256 one. I actually installed a 2 terabyte one last year inside of my Mac Mini just because I needed way more than 256 gigabytes. It's kind of interesting to think that Apple does not sell my Mac Mini anymore technically, even though I do have a 2 terabyte one. Although you want to know, I just realized this counter right here might actually be accurate because this is a hard disk drive. I feel like this installer is, okay, maybe not. I don't know why it's going a lot quicker than I thought it would be, but hopefully it will be able to go pretty quickly.
2,000 years later.
Ooh, I don't know if this is new with macOS 27 or if this is because I'm using a hard disk drive. It says about 45 seconds remaining, which I've never seen before. Could this be a sign for things to come? Because I'm pretty sure it has always just said about a minute remaining, which it did. I didn't record any footage of that. I have the camera paused, but now it just says about 45 seconds remaining, which is our first very interesting thing about the macOS 27 installer, at least on a hard disk drive. So if that does not show up on a normal SSD, then it might be because I'm using a hard disk drive. Okay, that 45 seconds was a lie. If you go back to the previous clip, it was 4:48. Now it is 4:50, and it still says 45 seconds remaining. So I don't know what it is supposed to be. Alright, it's been almost an hour since that last clip. It's now 5:46, and it's finally closing applications and preparing for the restart. We'll be back after the restart. Alright, so let's see how long this install process takes. The putting it on the hard drive took a very long time. It took way over an hour to do that. So I guess the installation times that it showed on the screen were in fact still inaccurate, but it was inaccurate the wrong way. Also, we gotta talk about the Fusion drives. When APFS was first released, Apple had the Fusion drive and they also had solid state drives. So the Fusion drives are mainly used inside the iMac up until 2020, I believe it was, or 2021, which was the first model that had no Fusion drive. I honestly forget when it was, but I believe Apple discontinued the Fusion drive in 2021 if I remember correctly. So APFS needed to support solid state drive. In fact, I think all forms of media support APFS. Hopefully we'll be able to get macOS running on a pure hard disk drive. And I wonder what the experience is going to be, because apparently running macOS on a Fusion drive was so bad. What about just pure hard disk drive? We'll have to wait and see.
One eternity later.
Alright, looks like our macOS is fully installed, and the first thing we notice is that we are getting no hello screen or anything. Oh, there it is. Alright, there's our hello screen. Oh, you can see how laggy it is. Alright, let's see how long it takes for the language screen to appear. We got our beach ball of death. There it is. Alright, continue. Alright, now we gotta wait for it to load. I don't think it's ever taken this long. Now let me just speed run this as quickly as I can. Yeah, we can see how good our speedrun is. Alright, we don't need any accessibility features. Let me connect to my Wi-Fi. And it's not even showing the password screen. Bro, I need my password screen. Okay, it looks like they changed the password screen. I could have sworn it was on the right. I don't know when they changed it, but I guess it is a macOS 27 feature. I'll let you know if I'm wrong or not. Alright, data and privacy. Alright, we're going to do that. And then do this. And then now let it create. Yeah, you can already see, even though we're only in the setup, how slow macOS already is on a hard disk drive. Alright, I'm gonna guess this is gonna take a very long time because it actually has to like add files and stuff, and we're using a hard disk drive, so it's gonna take a lot longer than expected. But I wonder if there's anybody out there that's actually using macOS on an external hard disk drive, like kind of like what I'm using right now. Now, I don't think they make external hard disk drives in the case that I'm using right now. I have a feeling they probably make the external hard disk drives as in like you need to have an actual hard disk drive instead of a SATA adapter, kind of like what I'm doing. But you can just see how slow macOS is on a hard disk drive. And we're running on an M4 MacBook Air right here, so it should not be this slow.
2,000 years later.
Oh, so it's saying that to finish creating your Mac account, you need to log in to the account using a name and password we just enter. Okay, I've never seen that before. Is that just, okay. What just happened? This is macOS on a hard disk drive. This is basically just macOS Tahoe beta. Oh, what's happening? What is happening right now? This is macOS Tahoe 26.0 Developer Beta 1 experience, or I don't know, Windows Longhorn. It's Windows Longhorn all over again. You know that like very crappy pre-reset last build before they just reset the entire thing? That's basically what it kind of feels like right now. And this is all because of APFS. So APFS heavily optimizes for SSDs, and they just like don't care a whole lot about the hard disk drives anymore, because like at the time APFS was released, nobody was using hard disk drives on a Mac anymore. Like, I mean, yes, there were still external ones, but most people would use not APFS on those, and probably like HFS Plus or something else like that. But wow, this is slow. What is even happening here? Oh, alright, we got our screen. Okay, should we use our, I mean, if I want to do what I'm going to do, I probably kind of have to. So I'm going to log in with my Apple ID real quick. Alright, I wish I could just show how bad that experience was. But the typing experience was just like super laggy. But now let's just do our code. And I'm going to try to replicate what we just did. An unknown error occurred. Interesting. Other sign-in options. I guess I'll just like try it again. Your Apple account password and verification code cannot be verified. Try signing in again. We'll try it again. Try it one more time. Alright, looks like that worked that time. Now we got to read the terms and conditions, which I have totally read before, at least for iOS 15. You could see all I did was try to click the checkbox, and I'm getting a beach ball. This is our experience on a hard disk drive. There it is. Repeat from You Are Siri.
I can't do that.
Alright, it is finally done. Now we can just match settings. And we also got a dark mode. And this is all because I logged in with my Apple ID or Apple account is what it's called nowadays. Alright, yeah. Ooh, let's do Touch ID. So this is mostly secure on the Apple Silicon processor. So this hopefully does not impact anything by using a hard disk drive besides setup process here. Well, okay, now it wants me to capture edges. Alright, now we can continue. By the way, did you know you could just use 2 fingers on 1 fingerprint? So you could just alternate fingers like that, and you could just unlock your Mac with multiple fingers. You could theoretically get all 10 of your fingers on here. Now, how much do we want our liquid glass to be? It could either be fully tinted or fully transparent or somewhere in between. I say let's do it fully transparent because that's what I like to do. But now let's see how long it takes to get past the rest of this setup. So that Apple account process took a very long time, a lot longer than I wanted it to be. But that's okay, we should hopefully almost be done here. I was about to put my AirPod back in, and we now have our welcome screen. And now we should hopefully be able to press continue any second now. I swear when I put my AirPod back in, it will be ready. Alright, we can now press get started here, and we got our widgets, and how long will it take for our dock to appear? Who knows, but this is macOS on a hard disk drive. I'm not sure Apple really intended for anyone to ever do this, but here we are. We can't even get Spotlight. And oh, the re-indexing process is gonna be really bad on here. We might as well just like turn Spotlight off or something as soon as we can. This is not intended to be used at all. Alright, let's just enter our password here to get into our data. Yeah, but you could also see right here, device added to your account. I wonder how long it took for that to go to the servers, but that's okay. And now we gotta continue waiting here. And as I just put my AirPod in, that screen just disappeared. But can we do anything at all right now? Okay, we do that, but can we even open up the Find? I want to see what navigating the system is going to look like here. Also, it's a little bit interesting to see that it is showing up right here as our external hard drive. I have no idea why that is, even though it is installed on the external hard drive, as we can see right here. But we can hopefully access our applications, and I'm gonna guess this is gonna be a lot faster since all of the internal hard drive is on a solid state drive. Now obviously it's gonna be a lot slower than just doing it on a hard disk drive on all solid state, but this is as fast as it will probably be. And there's our dock. I'm gonna turn off Spotlight real quick to see if we can just like not have Spotlight at all, because that is just gonna be re-indexing everything, especially because of how heavy the Spotlight algorithm is inside of macOS 27. As of right now, at least inside this first beta. Yeah, but you can also see that the calendar icon has not even loaded yet. So this is just like the default calendar icon because, this is what it's supposed to look like right here. And it thinks I did mission control for some reason. I want system settings so I could turn off Spotlight just so it could make you a bit faster. Okay, maybe now that I think about it, maybe I should have made it fully frosted glass instead of just liquid glass. But then again, that is all GPU dependent and probably goes straight to the RAM, probably not to the solid state drive, or in our case, a hard disk drive. But you can just see how slow macOS is right here. And let's see how long it takes to go into Spotlight settings. And if we go into our search privacy, if we can go back down there and click it, and then if we add our plus button here and then goes to our root of our hard drive, we're gonna go to both of them and add those in here. That should hopefully turn off Spotlight indexing because that is probably making it a lot slower than it has to be. So let's go into our top secret hard drive, and then let's just choose this, and then let's do the same thing with macOS. Yep. We don't want Spotlight at all. We're not going to use Spotlight at all. We're going to do it the old-fashioned macOS 10.3 Panther way. Because believe it or not, macOS did not used to always have Spotlight. It used to have this tool called Sherlock, but you can just see how slow it is. Please let me add that other location. Maybe I'm going to put AirPods back in, and hopefully by the time I take them out, everything should be put inside of here. We won't have any Spotlight indexing. Alright, now we should hopefully have 0 Spotlight and already starting to feel a lot more responsive here. Now let's go inside of our App Store. and we're going to be downloading something on here. And it's taking a very long time to install the App Store, at least open it. I don't think I've ever seen it bounce around like that for a very long time, but it is what it is because we're on a hard drive right here. Alright, we got our thing, or at least we did. Maybe I shouldn't have opened it. Maybe I should just have clicked on it. Alright, now we have our disk speed test software. Now we can just install it and hopefully be able to run it here on macOS 27 on our hard disk drive. Alright, now we got our Blackmagic disk speed test. Now how long will it take to open it? We're going to close the App Store so our storage is not being used here at all. And hopefully we're able to run our disk speed test to see how fast or how slow macOS 27 is on our hard disk drive. Now we're going to start it, and yeah, you can totally see how usable this really is. 17.1 write speed, or 13. It's ever so slightly decreasing. Yeah, oh my gosh, because I just realized we take solid state drives for granted. This is how slow it really is. Now, we're going to let it run the disk speed test real quick, and I'm going to show you on the screen what it is on my M4 Mac Mini. Yeah, you can see right here we got like 30 and like 42. Now we're going to do something interesting. We're going to shake the hard drive to see if we can get that number to be lower, because believe it or not, if you were to shake a hard drive, it ends up being so much slower than it already is. Yeah, I think we already kind of broke it here, so we're doing what we wanted it to do, just breaking it, because like it relies on magnets, and just adding movement to it just makes it not good at all. Now, okay, yeah, you can see it just did a big jump. Let's see if we could just continue making it do a even bigger jump. Let's just do that, and maybe we'll recover. Let's see, will it recover? It looks like it kind of does recover. I don't want to wait to do it for the retest, but maybe we will. Is it possible to like change it? Let me just look on my here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the stress test be 1 GB, and we're gonna try it again, except we're not gonna wait this time. We're just gonna shake it. We're gonna shake, and it should go all the way back down. Yep, and it goes back up. And let's just shake it slowly until we shake it quickly. And we should be able to freeze it here again in a bit. Okay, I don't know why it's not affecting the shake test. Now we're going to be on standby for the retest, and we're going to shake it right now. Oh, I accidentally unplugged it. But you can just see how slow it is. Now let me just plug it back in, and let's see how fast the boot up time is. Like, do we just do that? It looks like the screen is on right now, so yeah, maybe doing a shake test is not the best thing to do with an external hard drive. And we're gonna make sure we boot into our hard drive right here, and we're gonna see how long it takes to boot up right now. Alright, I honestly have no idea what it's doing. It is trying to boot loop here. I think I might have corrupted this macOS install, but at least we were able to see how slow macOS is on a hard disk drive. Alright, so unfortunately this hard disk drive is pretty much dead right here. Well, I could probably fix it. I tried reinstalling macOS so many times, but it just won't work. So I think this hard disk drive might actually be dead here. Probably because I unplugged it, so definitely not a good idea to just unplug something while it's running. I think that's why macOS still to this day prompts you to unplug stuff, just in case you're like writing stuff to it, because that will corrupt stuff. It actually did corrupt stuff when I was trying to stuff over, and I just like rushed once it was done transferring to the solid state drive, and then I just unplugged it, and then it was just not readable by macOS. So this might be a lesson to maybe just safely eject, just like the good old days, and don't just assume that it will just be fine. But anyways, thanks for watching. Come on, subscribe, down my apps and description down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!